this is you and just the way you to the end. You will never be the same or think the same again. What's going on, everybody? My name is AT from Headcrack Studios, headcrackstudios.com, and this is part 3 on our 3-part mini-series on bussing, and this is how to use a bus. Once again, I am using my song called Dahlia. That is Logikil, Logikil, Dahlia. You can find it on all streaming platforms. Definitely give it a listen if you want to listen to how the mix came out, how the master came out, and all that good stuff. And it is produced by my guy Player One. Can't forget that because the beat is crazy. So let's jump right into how to use a bus. So last video we talked about why. The video before that we just talked about a general theory of bussing. And I know I went through it quick, so trust me, if you got any questions or comments or concerns, definitely hit me up. I kind of went over how to use it on the why, but let's just jump into how. We already went over why. Let's go into how. So I want to turn this off real quick. So Studio One has an option to keep all buses to the right. I did that in the last video just to show you guys neatly where everything is. But here we go. So we got rims, claps, kick, 808. So I would consider that all the drums. You dig? So here's the rims, the rim shots. That's AKA a snare. They might be low. Claps. Here's the kick. Bat, bat, bat. All right, so here's how I would use bussing and how I do use bussing. I didn't use it on this because I didn't really need to, but we can go through it. I'm going to do it for y'all today because I love y'all. So look, I did basic EQ on the rims, right? Nothing special. It sounded good already. Same thing on the clap. Sounded good already. The kick, I did some cool stuff. I did go over side chaining with you guys. And I almost always side chain the 808 with the kick because they're usually taking up the same space and they need some room. So definitely check out my video on side chaining so I can show, so you guys can learn how to do that. So I did what I did. Now, this is literally what I would do. And this is how you would do it. I would take this, right click if you're on a mouse, 2-finger click if you're on a laptop, add bus for selected channels, bang, bang. So now, all of these, you could tell, right? They went from main, now they say bus, bus 1. Double click, I'm gonna say drums. And now, for keeping the place nice and neat, I'm gonna do the same color. There you go. Sometimes I go a little darker just to differentiate the bus, but right now it's good to go. So now we got all the drums in one spot. And here's the beauty of bussing.
Systems are being found with micro.
There you go. You could just solo them all without having a solo each and every separate one. You can do this a number of ways, as you can see with groups. I'll go over that in another video. We're talking about bussing right now, guys. Pay attention. So that's the drums. All right. So now, what I would do, I didn't do it on this, but let's just listen to it.
Victims are being found with microphones severed in half and being placed in each of the victim's hands.
So, what I would normally do, right? I did on my Level Lock Deluxe. This thing is crazy. I don't even know how to explain it. It just beats the mess out of your signal and it distorts it. Look at that, audio level destroyer. That's the perfect definition of what this does. So this will add some beef to your signal. And the reason why I would throw this on a bus is because you got to think of the soundscape, right? You got to think of how the people are going to perceive your music or perceive your beat in your mix, right? Nobody, unless you're an engineer, unless you're crazy like us, you're a crazy producer, you're a crazy engineer and an artist, nobody's listening to separate spots, right? Or separate elements. They're listening to the thing as a whole. So I take that philosophy and I apply it to bussing. So I do my individual work, right, on all the individual stuff. I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to bring it home, drive it home, I should say. So I did all my individual cleaning up, taking care of the stuff, And then now I want to bring it all together. which they say in the mixing world, put some glue, right? Get some glue on it, right? Sometimes the drums just need some glue because they need to portray. They need to be portrayed in a certain way. You don't want to go out looking crazy if you're going to a party, baby. And this track and a lot of our tracks that we make are supposed to be played loud. So we want to make sure they look good, AKA they sound good. So let's just put some glue on this. Ready? Right? So this plugin does a lot without even touching it. So now let's just say crunch equals distortion. Watch your ears, people. All right. Crush equals compression. All right. So the reason why you would want to do this is, like I said, sometimes you just want to bring it all home. You want to glue it. You want to throw some glue. You want to throw some fatness on it. And you want to just, add stuff to the overall sound of all the drums, right? Because like I said, people are not listening to just the snare or just the kick or just the 808. They're listening to it as a whole. So that's how I would use it. And I think we went over this. Let me take this off because, I think we went over this. I know we went over this in the last two videos, but this is how to use it on vocals as well. Right? If you got a vocal like this, I know a lot of rappers that do this. I do it from time to time where I just keep my punches separate for obvious reasons, like I did in the last video. Come on. Oh, it's not even going to play yet. Here we go. I had it all soloed. Moment of truth on the edge of a blade. Oppression exploded and bullet array. They've been doing you dirty now. So I had the tail end of the lines connecting, like going into each other, right? I wanted to keep that effect. T.I. does this a lot. Ludacris does this a lot. And I know this is how I approach that kind of effect, right? Instead of taking what I did, so let's just go over lead, kill lead. And I bust them. I put them all the way to the right last video, so they're just here now. So instead of taking this whole chain and putting it twice, putting it on these two channels right there, I just did it once. Now, you might run into some problems. I know I wouldn't because I know how I recorded this, but let's just say this, and this comes in with gain staging. Let's just say this part right here came in way too hot. It might trigger your compressor, right? I've done it before, and this is getting technical, but like I have RVox on. I don't have it compressing crazy amounts, like -7 was my highest. So long story short, if you got to watch out when you're doing this, because if you're coming in too hot on the punching, it will trigger your compressor and you're just going to sound super low. And then you're going to be like, yo, why do I come in sounding like that? Didn't sound like that when I recorded it. Well, it's because you're compressing everything now. So that's the part of bussing. So both of those signals are coming over to this vocal bus, right? The lead bus. So all of these are getting compressed at the same time. Both of these, I should say. Right? Bang and bang. They're getting compressed at the same time. They're not getting compressed individually. And I wanted that effect because I recorded it a certain way and I knew how to manipulate it. But I'm just warning you guys now, if you're getting weird compressing effects at the spots you punched in, then you already know it's a little too loud. And all you got to do is just gain stage it, Clip gain it if you're on Pro Tools. I know they have clip gain in Studio One as well. It's this little knob right here, this little box. And that's what you would do. So that's how I use bussing on drums. That's how I do use it, right? Because this is a real session. That's how I use it on vocals. And look, same thing with the hook. The hook, I did all my individual EQ, de-essing. I did my compression. I did everything normal, right, that I would do on the hook lead, on the hook doubles. I just name them 2, 3. High hook. This is like me getting loud. So then I took those over and I bust them to hook A. What did I do? I just added some EQ just to give it some sparkle. Like I said, nobody's listening to the hook as, oh, that's the lead. Oh, that's the double. Oh, that's the high. No, they're listening to the hook as the hook. So now you want to bring it all home. And that's what I did with this. I just needed a little bit of extra 3K around there. And I don't even know why this is on. So I didn't even use it. So that's what I did. Just little subtleties that you do to the whole effect, right? So, like I said on the last video, why? You want to take like sounds, right? You take like sounds, and I guess this is more how, right? You take like sounds like I did with the drums, right? And you can even get deeper and just do the kick and 808. If you have multiple bass, like a bass guitar and an 808, which is crazy, you want to bust those separately so you can manipulate them and you can give them their own space. And I'm telling you guys, bussing is a crazy topic. I know I'm running long. I try to keep these short for you guys. Definitely look into Michael Brower. He is one of the pioneers of bussing, and his philosophy is, right, when things have their own space, they just sound cleaner when the mix is all turned up and it's getting ready for mastering, right? That way the vocals don't get caught up and get drowned out by the bass and etc. So he does it in like a 3-step process. He does 3 buses, A, B, and C. And I'm explaining this really quick for y'all just to give you a synopsis on how to use it. So A is like everything high, B is everything low, and C is everything mids, in essence, right? He does it a little more in depth, but that's what he does. And that way he does light compression on all of those. And that way, everything kind of has their space, right? I do a version of that, and a lot of people do a version of that. But definitely check out Michael Brower, Brauher, I believe. His bussing techniques are, they're pioneered, right? He basically was the father of bussing. I know a lot of people done it before him, but he created the effect that we go for. So look into that, guys. Do some studying. Like I said, this is a quick video on how to use bussing. But you can get crazy and you can do it a whole bunch of different ways. And I'm over here trying to think of more ways, guys, but definitely just look at what I did and get creative, right? You can bust vocals, you can bust like sounds, you can bust drums, you can bust anything. I bust the whole beat right here. If you see it, that's a group. But sometimes I just bust the whole beat if the whole beat needs some sheen or if the whole beat needs some taming. So you can do whatever you want. So, like I said, this is part 3 on how to use it. The first video, if you guys just jumped into this one, first video, go check it out, is what is a bus? And then the second video is why is a bus, right? Why do we use it? And this is how to use it. I hope you found this knowledgeable, guys. I hope you found this informative. And if you did and you like what I got to say, definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can get notified when I drop more of these tutorials, and definitely go check out the song if you like how it sounds and you just want to hear the overall mix. And that's about it, guys. Once again, it's AT from Headcrack Studios, headcrackstudios.com.